Coach, when you look at the depth you've been able to now cultivate it at the receiver position, one, how will that show up in your offense? Does it change what you want to do offensively, or does it just allow you to do it at a higher level?
Well, I think before you even get to the depth, that's a testament to Coach Mines, the whole program, what we've been able to do to turn around the room. I love the way that group works. They come to work every day. They have a very selfless approach. So within that, it does allow you to do more. It also allows you the depth, allows you to rotate a little bit more where a guy's not playing as many snaps as in a game, right? The other thing you look for when you have depth at the receiver position is how can we move guys around to create matchups, right? What does each guy do well? How can we put them in a position to do what they do well while continuing to work on their weaknesses in practice?
Do you have good myriad of skill sets there, or you're not cookie cutter guys in the
We do. I think there's a variety of skill sets. There's guys in that room that can go make plays on the ball. There's guys that are willing to be physical in the perimeter blocking game, which provides a lot of flexibility in the offense.
Tyler, compared to where you were a year ago with the offensive line, how much deeper is this unit from your starting group to your second string?
Well, much deeper just from a standpoint, right? You really got everyone back, right? So when you look out there, you know, guys are going into year 2, year 3, year 4 of playing college football, which is a big deal at the line of scrimmage. I think we all know that's a group that's, you know, sometimes slower to develop, right? That's a man's game when you play up front, and those guys have done a really nice job. I feel good about the depth, what we know schematically. We've still got a long way to go at every position to get to where we want to go, but I'm very excited about that group and what they've brought to practice so far this fall.
You brought up at the spring, and you and Coach probably both mentioned this after spring about maybe looking to transfer portal for a veteran quarterback. How good do you feel about getting Colin Schlee? I know there was a battle there, I believe, with Kentucky, and how much has he helped the room, and how much have you seen Pop develop as well?
Yeah, I think all of those things that you said, you took the words out of my mouth. I think Pop's developed really well. We're excited to have Colin. Obviously, you're bringing in an experienced guy to compete with Pop behind KD. That's helped the room in general. You've got a guy that's won a MAC championship, that's played a lot of football. You see what he's done even last year at UCLA. He's a guy, not only am I excited about competing for a backup quarterback role, but being able to have packages in the offense to utilize his skill set with potential of 2 quarterbacks on the field at a time.
In an ideal world, did Kyron run the ball right at the sweet spot last year in terms of workload? Too much? Too little? What do you envision for him in the run game?
Yeah, I'd probably say the sweet spot, right? If you were asking me, I think there's times right now what you see from KD is just how much more comfortable he is in the offense. He's getting to the second, the third read. He's fitting balls in the tight windows. So I'm excited about that. Maybe that changes some of those second play opportunities, but you know, we're going to utilize a dynamic quarterback with what we want to do offensively, and he certainly brings that skill set to the table as well. And when you provide all that to a defense, I think it makes him more difficult to defend. So hard to say. I mean, we want to do whatever we need to do offensively to give ourselves an opportunity to win the football game.
You only had Ali for a game and a drive last year, basically. What's it like having him, back full speed in that room? And Coach Pry was up here previously. He said he's a receiver that maybe performs a little bit better in the game than even at practice. Have you noticed that yourself at all?
He's having a heck of a camp right now as well. The excitement's genuine. I think from everyone, from our players, from the coaching staff on offense. I mean, we're excited to have Ali back. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's played a lot of football, who's showed up in big-time moments, and he's showing that right now in camp. We're excited about his development and also what he brings to the room from a maturity standpoint, right? You're looking at a room that has some depth, that has some older players. That's so good for our younger guys, provide role models for them to aspire to be. It's expediting their development at practice, but Ali in general, we're excited to have him back. Vet guy, knows how to come to work, has improved his skill set in a variety of areas, and I'm excited to see what he does this fall.
One of the things Coach Prime mentioned at the beginning was the new NCAA rule that allows more coaches hands-on in practice. You guys have elevated a lot of guys that have coaching titles now. Have you noticed a change? How does that help you in practice, having more guys that are allowed to kind of be hands-on and vocal. He said, Coach Price said he had to walk around and jokingly tell guys that they're allowed to like talk during practice now. Have you noticed a big change in just maybe more productive, having more coaches on the field now?
No, I think it's a great question. It's certainly a change and a change for those guys as well in a very positive way. We've got a lot of experience on offense and defense, but in that offensive room to be able to provide insight and knowledge to our players. So I love it. It allows us to do more individual work. You may see more circuit work at practice where we can really get hands-on and take an individual approach to the development of a player. So I've really enjoyed it. I know those guys have, and my thing is for us and just any organization, right? As long as we're on the same page and we're preaching the same message, it's always great to have those resources for our players, especially on the field now.
Tyler, now that you've had Montavious Cunningham for about 6 months, what have you seen from him so far, and what do you envision his role on this team being?
Yeah, he's in a battle right now, right? I mean, I think always, you guys have heard me say this before, and I'll never change my tune. Everyone's in a battle to provide our best 5 up front. So he's in a battle for that. What I've seen him improve, obviously he's more comfortable just being here at Virginia Tech, being in the offense, understanding the system. You're seeing his physicality show up more from that just because, hey, now I'm not thinking as much. Now I can get back to playing ball, utilizing some of the experience that I've had, but also some of the new techniques he's learned. I think he's a guy that eventually, right, he's in the battle right now for somewhere on the interior, but he's also a guy that we look to swing out to tackle some to get reps as well. So, he's in the mix to try to be one of the best 5, and, his role will depend on how that plays out through the next few mini camps.
Let's go quickly back from Eric and then Lane. Coach, we've seen how versatile the running backs can be and have to be in this offense the past few years. Can you speak to just the room in general, how they've progressed over the years, not only being effective running, but also catching out of the backfield?
Yeah, I mean, we want to be able to deploy those guys in a variety of areas. We want to be able to run the ball in the alley, run the ball inside, get them involved in the pass game. I think what's interesting about that room is you've got a variety of skill sets, right? And then a couple guys that maybe are a little bit more complete. So as we go through right now in training camp, you're looking at that, you're saying, okay, what is Tyler Mason's strength, right? What is Coney's strength, right? What is Bayshaw's strength? And then we're really trying to focus on attacking the weaknesses, right? Because to be able to be that every down back, you need to be able to do a variety of things well. So that's how Coach Brooks has taken the approach. You see that group get a little bit better every day, but we're excited about the group. We're excited about how they're progressing. Obviously, you got a couple of experienced guys at the top, and then a battle underneath for, hey, where do the carries go from there? But excited about the group, and we certainly want to be able to use them in a variety of ways.
Coach, you mentioned how much more comfortable Kyron looks with the offense this year, but how much more comfortable are you all with him and maybe excited about what's possible this year that maybe wasn't last year just because of his unfamiliarity with things?
Well, I don't know if I'll ever be comfortable or we will, but it's nice. It's obviously nice having your starter coming back. I think number one, from a leadership standpoint on offense, right? If you were to ask me, what's his biggest area of growth, right? It's going in to year 2, the returning starter. He's really taken ownership of the offense, right? It's the player's offense at the end of the day. It's going to become the personality that he and the players decide it to be. So that obviously puts everyone at ease, but you see that in the leadership, how we did our summer work, the command, the control he has, the understanding to be able to grab a guy, coach him on the field. Hey, I'd like to see this route this way. This is what we're looking for. This is when you show up in the progression, whatever that may be. That's a variety of things that he can do, but that's what I see the most, right, which provides a comfort level for everyone.
All right, let's go out to Zoom.
On Zoom again, please introduce your name and outlet for Coach Bowen, and we'll start with Sam.
Sam Jesse, Sons of Saturday. Coach Bowen, with Kyron Drones and his development as a quarterback, I know he spent a lot of time training with Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders and some other trainers. How has he gotten better, specifically as an accurate passer in some of those tighter windows? And what does that open up for your offense that you maybe didn't have open up last year?
Well, it opens up a ton. I mean, for us, offensively, and our guys know this, we want to be able to establish the run game, but within that, it opens up some really good play action opportunities. So being able to throw the ball in the tight windows, watching him, how he's improved his deep ball accuracy, watching how he's improved his release, the ball's coming out of his hand faster, so when teams want to play our box and we can whip out a perimeter screen, I think all of that, he's really developed that toolbox, which he's had before, but I think a variety of things, comfort in the offense and going into it knowing exactly what's needed within the offense for us to be successful. You've seen him take big steps, and it certainly opens up things we can do.
Any final questions on Zoom? All right, Travis.
All right, thanks, guys.